All right. What is up, my peeps? Joshua Smithy with another GSD Mode podcast weekly real estate tip. And today I'm here to do a deep dive into what to do if you are a real estate agent, real estate professional, what to do in the event that you don't have business going on, you don't have enough business in your pipeline, or maybe you don't have any business. And I'm going to break down and walk through 10 different things that you can start doing immediately that cost little to no money to go out there and start building up and filling up your pipeline, leading to now clients, leading to now commissions, and so forth. Now, real quick, before we jump in here, I just want to plug this because I know that things are shifting. The market is changing. I have so many real estate agents, real estate professionals, team leaders, broker owners reaching out from the podcast and just people that I know in the industry that are really concerned about the changes that we're seeing here in the marketplace. And if you go to gsdmode.com, now this is 100% free. I'm not here to try to plug anything, sell you anything. If you go to gsdmode.com, I've got a bunch of other free resources there, some trainings on there. Well, right now I'm currently doing a training on 6 fundamental steps to 3xing or more your real estate business, regardless of the market. So with what we're experiencing right now, it doesn't matter if we're in a boom, a bust, if the market is, if we're experiencing a lot of foreclosures, REO, short sales, regardless of what's happening in the marketplace, how to continue to grow, scale your business regardless of that. And I'm sharing the 6 main fundamentals, or the 6 actual full-on fundamentals that I've operated by over my almost 18 years of doing this, that has allowed my business to continue to grow and scale regardless of the marketplace throughout this past 18 years. So you go to gsdmode.com. It's a 3-hour in-depth masterclass where I just walk you through how to set yourself up to ensure that you're successful to go out there, kick ass, thrive, even though the market's changing times. Okay, with that being said, let's jump on in to today's podcast. So again, what we're here to talk about is, okay, maybe you have some business going on, but you're looking to scale your business. Or maybe you're in a position right now, maybe you're new, or you're just in a position where you're in a slump. You don't have any deals going on. You don't have enough deals going on. And you're looking to go out there and fill up that pipeline as quick as possible. So we're going to go through 10 different steps here, and you don't need to do all 10. Now, you can go out there and absolutely do all these 10, but you don't need to. I mean, you could just go very deep in any one of these and go out there and generate now immediate business. And again, with these 10 things I'm breaking down and sharing with you today, when I came up with these, and these aren't just things I pulled out of my ass. These are things that I've done over the years, that we continue to do over the years, that are proven, that work, that get results. But I wanted to make sure to focus on things that didn't entail money, didn't entail, going out there and having a big investment, whether it be time or money. So then that way you can, again, it's about filling up that pipeline as soon as possible. Now clients going out there and getting commission checks as quickly as absolute possible. Now, the first thing before I break out in these 10 steps, I want you to understand and comprehend is, and this actually came up with, I was having a conversation with an agent friend of mine yesterday, and this was an obstacle that they were currently having. I'm like, dude, I need more now clients. My pipeline's getting dry. I need more now clients. And my response to that was, look, if you're not busy as hell right now with now immediate clients, like if your pipeline isn't currently busy, you should be focusing on nothing else. You have no business focusing on anything else other than getting business. So often, we can fill our schedules and our time with these filler things where we get busy, but we're not productive. Business, like when it comes to new business coming in the door. Now, when I say new business, this can be a combination of repeat referral business. I'm just saying you got new closings taking place consistently. However that business is coming in, obviously that's the lifeblood of our business. If that doesn't take place, if we're not closing commission checks, we'll get to a very tough point, and we're not going to last in this business for that long. So the reason why I wanted to bring this up is I want you guys to understand that if you're ever in this position, now we always need to keep the foot on the accelerator of doing activities that are leading to new opportunities, getting new business to consistently come in. But if you're ever in that position where that halts and that stalls out, every ounce of your work day should be focused on an activity that is directly leading to you bringing in business. Like if I'm in that position, I'm not going to be attending trainings. I'm not going to be attending meetings. Like I might listen to podcasts like this while I'm driving, getting ready in the morning, whatever. But actually with my actual dedicated time that I can't intertwine with another activity is gonna be in a straight hustle mode to go out there and get that now business and refill up that pipeline as quick as possible. So making sure, like 90% plus of your time should be focused on and filled up with going out there and filling up that pipeline. All right, so let's break down these 10 different tactical steps that I have for you to go through with. And because I'm covering all 10, I'm not going to go extremely in depth with all of these, but some of these are pretty self-explanatory, and I'll definitely, guide you through these as we go through them, so that way you know what to do and how to plug in and do them. All right, so number one, and this is something that is preached about all throughout this industry. It's been preached to me since day one of getting in this industry, but it's reaching out to your SOI, reaching out to your sphere of influence, grabbing your phone. I don't know where my phone is right now, but I was going to grab it as a prop here. But grabbing your phone and reaching out, and whether you have a database, whether you have a CRM, hopefully you do. But if you don't, I actually found it. Boom, you got your phone. Like, grab this bad boy and start reaching out to and connecting with anybody and everybody that you know. Now, I know that the one common objection to this from real estate agents, and I get it and I understand it, is, hey, I don't want to come off as salesy. I don't want to just be that person that's always trying to sell my friends, my family on real estate. Here's the cool thing about this is you don't need to. You don't even have to necessarily sell when it comes to this. You got to understand that law of reciprocity is the number one most powerful law when it comes to the laws of influence. So people are going to ask about you. So if you're just reaching out to just check in with people, so think of these, not as sales calls. Think of these as connection and rapport building calls. So when you're reaching out, these are people that that you have somewhat of a warm relationship with. You're reaching out, checking in on them, seeing how they're doing. Hey, how are you doing? How's the family doing? How are your kids doing? What's new in life? All of those different things. You're developing that rapport. Hopefully you're taking detailed notes, putting those in your CRM or putting them on an Excel spreadsheet, or putting them somewhere for reminders, for future conversation, talking points, and so forth. But you invest those calls into them. Even when I'm following up with my past clients, which we have a 20-year long past client call plan that we do, where we call them every single 90 days. Even on those calls, I'm not leading with real estate. I'm not leading with, like trying to go out there and get referrals. Right now, it always ends up leading to that or circling back to that. But I'm not leading the call with that. I'm always going out. Like, people get burnt out of that. If you're just calling, begging for business all the time, eventually they're going to stop answering your calls. But if you're calling and genuinely interested in them, genuinely checking in on them, seeing how they're doing, they have the feeling and the sense and the understanding that you care, right? Well, they're going to ask them about you. Oh, we're doing great. Family's great. How long they're talking about, themselves, and asking as many questions about them, their life, their situation, all of that as I possibly can. Once they get done going through that, they are going to ask about me, and when they ask about me, oh yeah, things are great. Family's great. Wife's great. Kids are great. Business is great. The real estate market's definitely going through some crazy shifts right now. Things are changing on a daily basis, and it's been kind of a crazy transition, but making sure to stay busy, and things are going great. Like, just that insertion of planting that seed will usually then lead to them following up with questions of, hey, I'm curious about that. One of the great things about what we do here in real estate, and I had a friend of mine that said this to me a long time ago, was like, the great thing is we're not selling life insurance or death insurance, right? Like, it's something that nobody really wants to talk about. Like, when you go to any dinner party, people are talking about real estate. It comes up in all these conversations, so this is something that is part of people's lives. They're intrigued about what's going on. They hear different things about the housing market slowing down, whether they own a home, they think of buying a home. Like, these conversations are going to come up. They're going to ask questions that can potentially lead to deals based on their scenario, based on the situation. If they're asking, hey, is now the time to sell? Like, right now, and everybody's market's different, but in my market right now, if somebody has a house and they are thinking about selling anytime in the next several years, right now is the optimal time. If they can sell, right now is the optimal time, because with what we're seeing right now, what's going on, and I don't have a crystal ball, but my best guess is right now they're going to get the maximum amount of equity out of that house. We're going to keep going down over the next few years, several years to come. And, so they're looking at buying. Okay, well, what's their scenario? What's their situation? There's more inventory available. Like, what are their long-term goals? Now it's not a great time to buy for everybody right now, but it is a good time to buy for some people in certain situations. So to bring those conversations up. So making sure that you're reaching out, tapping into your sphere of influence, one of the quickest ways to go out there and drum up now business. And you can do it in such a way without being, salesy or without being that, douche that, that nobody wants to deal with. All right. So then from there, posting on social media. Now, I know that, this is probably like a duh for some people, but being intentional with your postings. And I'm not going to go too in depth with this because I've created some recent content, about posting strategies, what to post, when to post, how to respond to those. Again, how to go out there and sell without being salesy, and getting, playing the real estate game, getting people to know you, like you, trust you, be aware of what you do for a living, keep your message in front of them frequently and follow up with them frequently. Your business continues to grow. But there's strategic ways that we can all go out there and do through posts, through stories, through through reels to go out there and gather business. And this is something that we really push all of our agents on our team to do. Something that generates us a ton of business is just our overall organic posts that we're doing and feeding social media and posting out there. There's no reason, especially like, dude, if you're not busy and if you don't have a full pipeline, there's no reason you shouldn't be doing like 10 plus social media posts a day. Now, when I say 10 posts, I'm not talking about physical posts. I'm talking about 10 pieces of content that you're putting out there on a daily basis, whether that be through posts, whether that be through reels, whether that be through stories, keeping that 80%, personal rapport building, the other 20% on real estate related. But again, you can sell without selling. I have other recent YouTube or podcasts, whether in YouTube or you're listening to this, you can go back within the last month. I've created some in-depth, videos or podcasts just on exactly that, of what to post, when to post, how to post, all of those different things. All right. So then from there, when it comes also to, this is going to be specific to Facebook, but posting ads in Facebook groups, as well as in Facebook Marketplace. All of us in all of our markets, you typically have those buy, sell, trade groups. You can go out there and find groups where it is okay to go out there and post ads where it's not necessarily spamming the group. Like, you may not want to be part of a mom's group, go join a mom's group, if you're a mom, and going out there and spamming with real estate stuff, but with your buy, sell, trade style groups, or just posting consistent Marketplace. Right now, today, we are doing a lot of deals right now consistently and have for several years now through Marketplace. These are free posts. Marketplaces, if you're not familiar with it, it's kind of like Craigslist for Facebook, going out there and posting in those, posting squeeze pages where we can generate leads, follow up with those leads, takes minutes a day to go out there and make those posts. But you can post in, let's just say 10 groups a day and post on Marketplace, each and every day. And that can take you less than 10 minutes to go out there and do that and lead to now immediate business. All right. So Home Depot parking lot. So this was something I did when I was new in the business for my first year, roughly. And my first year, it was like, and I say my first year, this is the philosophy I followed throughout my whole entire career, but it took about that first year. I was busy my first year, did 48 deals my first year. So I was definitely busy, but I was not too busy to the point where, because 4 deals a month, if you're full-time, you're able to be focused on this. Like, that's very doable, manageable. You have plenty of extra time, 20, 30 hours left over a week, to go out there and prospect and generate more business. So this was a big strategy, man. And why I call it the Home Depot parking lot. It doesn't need to be Home Depot. It doesn't necessarily even need to be a hardware store. My whole philosophy was on this is I was 23 years old, just got my real estate license. And I was like, dude, and I just bought our first house. My wife and I just bought our first house. And I was like, before I owned a home, I was never at Home Depot. Now that I own a home, I'm here like every damn weekend. Like, people that own homes must be at Home Depot, and then plus it was right down the street from my real estate office. So I just wear my name badge. I go out in that parking lot. I never entered the store. I grab 100 cards and I just go out there and hand out my cards and have conversations. And I walk up to people, and this is when I was brand new. So I lead this, and I'm going to share this with you. You don't have to use a script, but here's the way that I did it. I just walk up to people saying, hey, my name's Joshua Smith. I'm a brand new real estate agent at RE/MAX down the street here. I kind of point in the direction of where my office is at. But I let them know, because people want to get information, especially today. People want the information. They want to gain access to the information that they want without being sold. And this is just something I've understood. Luckily I was in sales way before I got into real estate. So these were things that I learned that helped me when I jumped into real estate. I already had a pretty well-versed sales background jumping in this business. And I was able to carry over a lot of the things that I learned in the health club industry and selling memberships and personal training packages, bringing it over to real estate. But I knew that, I just knew that people have questions and they want answers to those questions, but they don't want to be sold. So I led with that. And I was like, hey, my name's Joshua Smith. I'm a brand new real estate agent. Just got my real estate license. I'm hanging my license over at RE/MAX. I point down the street of where that location was at. But I say, hey, just so you know, I'm not here to try to sell you anything. I'm brand new. Like I said, I'm brand new. So even if you were looking to buy or sell, you wouldn't want to use me. Because like I said, I'm brand new. I don't know what the hell that I'm doing. I'm just out here trying to get to know people, get my name out there, get my card out there. And part of being brand new is like, I got a lot to learn. And yeah, I've got to learn about real estate. I got to learn about houses. I got to learn about all the neighborhoods and all of that stuff, and learn how to sell houses, learn contracts, but I also need to learn and get familiar with the area and learn what kind of questions that people have that live in this area. What kind of questions about the community do they have? And instead of just guessing, I figured I'd come out here today and just go out there and have conversations. So that being said, like, what kind of questions do you have? And I might not have the answers. Like I said, I'm new. I'm still learning a lot. I may not have the answers for you. But if you have any questions, I'll jot that down and get your email and I'll report back to you. And I promise you have my word that I will not spam you. I will not go out there and send you a bunch of junk email. I'll only email you back with answers to your questions. So that being said, do you have any questions, whether it's about the real estate market or just the overall area, whether it be about, new commercial buildings that are go up in the area or things that are coming to the area, the schools, like what kind of questions do you have? Whatever they are, I don't care what it is. Like what kind of questions do you have about the overall area? And again, you're doing me a huge favor. This helps me go out there and learn. So like, if you don't have a question, maybe can you just make one up, right? So, and this just led to getting those questions, getting emails, allow me to do my research. Now, after that, I would follow up with that, or once that, I got that and got a question or so out of them, or if I didn't get a question, I was like, I can't really think of anything. Sorry, man. Then I'd ask them, hey, just out of curiosity, do you also own a home in the area? And if they said yes, then I would ask for their permission to allow me to run a CMA on their property. And I would tell them right up front again, like, hey, I'm not, I'm not here to try to, get your listing or try to sell you on utilizing me to go out there and sell your house. I know you're probably not even looking at selling your house. And even if you were, again, I'm brand new. I've never sold a house. I don't know what I'm doing. You wouldn't want to hire me anyway. Like, this is just practice for me. And you're doing me a huge favor by allowing me to utilize your home to practice. Now, before I send this to you, I'm going to go to my broker who's been doing this for 30 years, my broker, my mentor who I've chosen to follow in this business, been doing this 30 years, knows this stuff inside. Now, I will make sure to get their eyeballs on here before I send it to you. So by the time it gets to you, it will be fully accurate. So you have, fully accurate assessment of what your current market value is on your property, because I don't want to give you false information, but, would it be okay if I did that for you? Again, I know, I'm asking a lot here, but it'd mean a lot. Like, people want to help other people out. So I have tons of people just saying, yes, 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 yes to that. Then from there, when I give them my card, I would just sit there and say, hey, you're doing me a huge favor. I'm going to get back to you within 24 hours, 48 hours, however much time, I thought it would take for me to get back to those questions with that CMA. But I let them know. I'm like, hey, look, you've done me a big favor. And now I owe you. So I don't care what it is. If you need to, like, whatever it is, like, I don't care if you need help moving a washer, dryer, refrigerator, like I owe you a favor. And I always pay on my favors. I always return those favors, and I always make sure to be a man and, to honor my word. So you call me, whatever it is that you need, you call me, I owe you one, and it just led to business, right? Not only did it lead to a lot of practice, led to me gaining knowledge very quickly and information that people actually wanted to hear and learn about, got me CMA practice, but also end up leading a business. People would respect that and they would take a chance on me. I don't really care that you knew, we just really liked your style and we saw, liked your hard work and, whatever. And I just go out there, and if I got 3 days a week where I can go out there and have 100 conversations per day, and maybe that, it takes a month to go out there and get a deal. I'm not saying that like I just cleaned house doing this business, but one of my favorite ways to do business is in a way where I'm learning, like, no matter what I win. Because even if I don't get business from it, I'm winning because I'm gaining the knowledge and getting the expertise and getting the practice of valuing homes, and so forth. But it did also lead to business. It wasn't a ton of business, but it led to several deals, with my first year, which is a massive win. Even without those deals, it was a win for me. So, I call that the Home Depot parking lot strategy, even though it could be Ace Hardware, it could be a Lowe's. It probably doesn't even need to be a hardware store. Just think of, okay, like where are people that own real estate, that are buying real estate, that are selling real estate? Like, where are some public places in our area where they congregate? Okay. So then from there, I'm working at Starbucks. So, okay, I could work from my home office, I'm knocking out emails, getting shit done, following up my CRM, just doing that, whatever stuff or whatever I'm doing online, posting my social media posts, whatever. I could work at my home office, or I could go into the physical office and like, if you're in your physical office and you get a bunch of walk-ins and you can take advantage of those, then cool, go there, be there, like all for it. But if you are in a location like most offices today just don't get too many walk-ins, it's not just so much of a thing like it used to be, back in the day. Well, then from there, okay, I'm going to go like to a Starbucks or a busy coffee shop that's located in the geographical location that I want to work. So like my Geo Farm area. I'm going to have my name badge on there. I'm going to dress professional. I'm going to go get some coffee. Of course, I'm not just going to be a freeloader and not, I'm not going to go in there and set for work and not spend money in there, but I'll go grab a coffee. I drink only black coffee. So it costs me what, $2.50 or $3 for, venti black coffee from Starbucks. Got my name badge on. I got a couple buyer guides, seller guides with my name on it. Like, people can see that I'm a realtor. I got my laptop up and I'm doing all of the work that I'd be doing either from my home office or at the physical office, But look, now I got people coming in and out, and I can promise you over time, this will lead to conversations and lead to business. So you want to set yourself up like, okay, I'm already doing this type of work that I'd be doing at home or at my office, but now let me just do it in an environment. Like I'm getting the same amount of work done, but let me do this in an environment where I have the highest likelihood of people being able to, spark up those conversations, run into business, and so forth. So, that's something that you could be doing each and every single day, with that. All right. So attending any and all local networking events. Now be very, diligent on this. Like meaning like, okay, hey, if that networking group and event was, filled with 17 to 18-year-olds, I probably wouldn't, necessarily attend that. However, if there was an abundance of these networking events, local events that I could go out there and attend, or it's just get-togethers, like yoga in the park, whatever it is, like just be there, be out there, and you can go out there on Amazon. If it's a professional networking event, of course, you can wear your name badge. If it's not, like if it's yoga in the park, okay, I can go into Amazon and get like these, real estate is my hustle shirts. They're like $20. They're bazillion of them out there. That still shows people, even though it's a t-shirt, like a workout shirt, still shows people that I'm in the business, but just getting face-to-face, being out there face-to-face, belly to belly, sparking up those conversations. You don't have to lead with real estate. These, lead with being interested in people, just like this SOA calls, but it's going to lead to business, so any and all local networking events. And the best type of ones, in my opinion, are like the small business groups, or any element where you can learn from, like, okay, like whatever it is, there's when we actually host a lot as a team now, but I have some of my teammates that do an amazing job of this. This is their some of their biggest sources of business where, they'll do business planning, they'll do visual, vision boards, and different things like that, networking groups for just that, budgeting, networking events, and, financial workshops, all of that stuff. But attending those events, getting face-to-face, because at the end of the day, it's just about relationships, man. The more people that know you, like you, trust you, end up knowing what you do for a living, you're able to follow up with frequently or keep your message in front of those people frequently, your business continues to grow. And that also gives you a chance to connect with more people on social media. So as you're doing your postings, can feed those and funnel those. All right, open houses. Now I'm not going to go deep into open houses here. Again, I have, if you just go to my YouTube channel, type in open houses. You'll see a bazillion videos of my in-depth mega open house strategy. But this is one of our biggest ways of getting new business. I've never found a quicker, better, more effective way to get now new clients than open house. If I need a client this, within the next week, I'm going to go out there and crank a couple open houses over this weekend. I've never found a better way to go out there and get now immediate business if you know how to do them and do them right. So I highly recommend to go watch, some of my open house training. It's all free. It's on the podcast. There with that to get that in, but hustling open houses, again, when people are like, well, how'd you do 48 deals your first year? I'm like, dude, I was doing 3 to 4, sometimes 5 open houses each and every single week, as many as I possibly could. And same thing as I talked about, like working at a Starbucks, I'm doing that work anyway. I was be doing it at home, same as I would there. Well, same as the open house. Like to me, an open house is a never wasted time. I got my signage out there, but to me, that's just my office for the day where I have the highest likelihood of getting walk-in traffic. So even if nobody shows up, it's not like I'm just sitting there twiddling my thumbs, picking my nose, doing nothing in there. Like I do nothing else. Like worst case scenario, I got a book and I'm doing self-development. Outside of that, I'm working on my systems. I'm working on my scripts. I'm working on my presentations. I'm working on a lead follow-up. Like I've always got shit to do. I just treat it as my virtual office, if you will, at an open house. So touring new builds on busy days, so when I say busy days, like busy traffic days, so usually those are the weekends, but you can go out there and see what the busy traffic days are there with new builds in your area. So my market, ton of new builds, these big builders, all these, model homes that they have out there. And so I used to do this a ton, man. I'd slap on my name badge, dress extremely professionally, walk through those new builds. Now with the new builds, and every market's different, but in my market, if they walk that new build and I meet them at that new build, if they're interested in that particular new build or something in that particular development through that builder, I can't represent them, but most people that are walking through there, dude, the vast majority are considering something else, so I'm not going in there and intentionally soliciting business. All I'm doing with my name badge on, number one, is I'm getting familiar with inventory in the area, builder inventory in the area, and being educated on what that is. So I have that information, education, but then I'm just walking through there, huge smile on my face. Everybody I see in that open house, hey, through the new build, hey, how are you doing? Beautiful house, isn't it? dude, it's a disruptor. Like think about like when you're going through the grocery store or whatever, just walking around, like most people are just kind of eyes down, like when's the last time somebody made eye contact with you, big smile, was like, hey, how's it going, man? Beautiful, beautiful day outside, isn't it? Kind of disrupts your typical behavior in that moment. They gravitate, they look at your name badge, they see that you're a realtor. My badge is always, and to this day, say Joshua Smith Realtor, really big, bold print. I don't care about company logos. I just want that Joshua Smith Realtor where they can see my name and that I'm a realtor. Everybody then can see that very quickly and know that I'm a realtor. And they start asking questions. Oh, hey, I see that you're a realtor. I got a couple questions for you. And if they have questions about that specific, development, that specific model, I'll direct them back to the salespeople because I'm not trying to slow, and I can't steal that business from them anyway, right? And I wouldn't. So I direct them back there, but if they're interested, we'll start talking about resale, talk about other developments that, once I identify what they're looking for, boom, that can start to lead to business as well. So that's a, kind of a win-win as well. All right. So then top agents leads. All right, so look, there's always going to be agents crushing your market, and whether they're with you or brokerage or not, I'd go out there and identify, okay, like who are the mega hitters in your market? Who are the mega teams? Who are the mega agents that maybe don't have a team, mega individual agents, mega team leaders? And I just reach out to them. You might have to reach out to, I don't know, 10, 20, 30 before you get somebody that says yes to this relationship, but it's like, hey, because I can promise you, they got an abundance of leads, not all of them, but the vast majority will have an abundance of leads that are getting neglected in their system. They're like, not saying that all their leads are getting neglected, right? Obviously they're doing something right to become a top producer. I'm just saying they're going to have a lot of leads, past leads, old leads that at some point got neglected that aren't getting worked, and so forth. So just reach out to them and just saying, hey, if okay with you, if you have them and if okay with you, I'd love to work any of your old leads or any leads that are getting neglected that aren't getting worked. And if I'm able to convert those into clients, I'll pay a 50% referral fee. We can split those 50-50, right? So reach out top agents in your market, and then also lenders, going reaching out to your local lenders in your market and flipping the same thing. Hey, calling and asking to call on any past old apps that didn't come to fruition for whatever reason. Maybe they applied for a year ago, got approved, are on the verge of getting approved. Maybe they needed a little, and they just kind of, whatever, these old leads that these lenders have, and asking if, with their permission, if you can call those leads on their behalf. So, hey, I'm calling up hey, Joe, this is Joshua Smith at XYZ Real Estate. I actually work with, blah, blah name at blah, blah, blah lending institution. And we wanted to reach out. You had applied for a loan or looked like you had some interest in obtaining a loan, buying a house back in, September of 2021, and just wanted to reach out and see if that's something that you're still thinking about. There's a lot of great options out there today. Yeah, interest rates are up, but we've got some very creative ways that we can go out there and still get you very competitive interest rates. We're still getting our clients, say 3.5% interest rates, even though interest rates are 6.5% or so today. We're still having a lot of success with this with our clients. The great news about buying today versus, when you were looking at about a year ago is a lot more inventory, a lot more options today. So again, this might be a shot in the dark, but want to see if this is something that you'd like to re-explore. Like if I get, a list of 200-300 of those from a lender, like boom, I'm going to get a deal in there. Right. So these are 10 different things that you can be doing. And here's the cool thing is like, dude, if you got nothing in the pipeline, you can be cranking out all 10 of these, not saying you have to. You could go deep on just one of these or just, select however 2, 3, however many that you want, depending on what your schedule's like and what your capacity is, but these are 10 different ways that you can go out there and start drumming up immediate business. And as I led with this podcast or started this podcast with, you got to understand that 80-90% of your, like you have no business doing anything else other than activities that lead to business if your pipeline is dry. All right. So anyway, hope that you found this helpful. Truly appreciate you watching. Truly appreciate your support. Again, go to gsdmode.com where you can check out my free masterclass training that I have going on right now. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be doing this, so make sure to check it out. It's a 3-hour in-depth long online masterclass, 100% free, where I'm walking through the 6 foundations that I operate my business by that allow you to grow, scale, kick ass, and thrive regardless of the market conditions. And I break a lot down about how to transition the market conditions, how to pivot, and like what I did during, 2007, 2008, during the great financial crisis. Really, I kind of walk you through all the, a lot of different examples of this 18 years I've been doing this and how I've pivoted through the different markets and what I've done and what those commonalities are. So you know exactly what to do, how to do it, when to pivot in your own market as this market continues continues to shift and change, with all the changes that we're seeing right now with the marketplace. So again, gsdmode.com. All right, guys, truly appreciate you watching. Truly appreciate your support. Keep crushing it, keep kicking ass, and I'll see you next time. Peace.